Yeah.
You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
I guess Dominguez. I don't
You
know.
always say it like that, though. That's why.
Yeah.
Ooh, turn the volume down. So what's going on, everybody? How was your Tuesday?
Good. It was good. It was good. Played hooky from the gym today, and that's about it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing. Absolutely
Every
nothing
once
wrong.
in a while.
Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely.
What's up, Esteban?
Yeah, man. We have a good show today. We got Mickey Ward. You think we should have him turn to me?
Yeah, we do.
What?
Yeah, we do got Mickey Ward coming on.
They do.
Excited about it. What else can we talk about?
Well, we'll definitely have to talk about the Linares fight this week. And we'll just take some questions today and wrap this up pretty quick today.
Yeah, you want to let everybody know too on that we're going to eventually, we're actually starting today. We're going to be going down to an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to start moving the show to about an hour, 10 minutes. I think a lot of these 2-hour shows are really long.
They are.
And they're drawn out. And I think we run out of things to say, and then we just start going ADD. So I think we're going to start kind of economizing the show a little bit, knocking it down just a little bit. That music is killing me on this, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I think cutting it down a little bit, well, it does. We run out. I think the listeners get bored, too, after so long.
Dude, you could have Mike fucking Tyson on here, and people are going to cut off if the show's running 40-minute interviews. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So
it don't matter who
the interviews are definitely going to go down, too.
I could literally pull Joe Louis out of the grave, put his dead fucking bones here with us, and we could talk to him, and people would leave after anything longer than 20 minutes.
Because the show likes to interact.
It's interact. And that's what we do,
Well, Just, you want to tell them though for us? Oh, okay.
No,
But
it makes it hard for me to think. It makes it hard for me to think. That's good where it is right there.
But so,
hey,
let's start off with the Linares fight.
That was a good fight, man. I didn't expect too much out of Cotto. I mean, Cotto's he's a trial guy. He's a fringe contender. 23-2, 12 knockouts.
Yeah.
I kind of expected, but Linares is another level. Do you know what I mean?
He is. And of course, I got going on that. I'm gonna hop on this because Lomachenko beat him. He's overrated. He ain't that good.
Well, yeah, shit. Linares is terrible, man. He's overrated. Anybody, this guy I think he gave Lomachenko one of the harder fights he's had. Maybe not round wise. He didn't go the distance or whatever, but he put a lot of leather on Lomachenko.
He did, and he definitely has probably, I would say, top 3 fastest hands in the sport.
Yeah, we also got HBO to talk about today too.
Yeah, we do.
And we got a couple other little things, little tidbits of information today, some things we talked about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his hands are fast as shit, and we talked about this too. If he fights Mikey, this is not an easy fight. This is not an easy fight for Mikey Garcia.
Absolutely not. Linares is a big. He's strong. He can hit.
He's fast.
But the hand speed, the hand speed caught Lomachenko off guard.
What's up, Sergio? And the problem is too, Mikey is a counterpuncher, and he's not very active. He's not an active guy. He's a good counterpuncher, and he doesn't throw a lot of punches. And Linares will throw a shit ton of punches, man.
Exactly.
And I think people are shitting on Linares based on the fight with Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm. Well, they started bringing up his other losses too, though. Like when Loma beat him, well, he got beat by this guy and he got dropped by this guy, and of course that happens, though. Yeah.
Sergio's shitting on HBO right now. Of course he does. But you know what? I have nothing but respect for HBO. I'm going to tell you why. HBO's been doing this 45 years. They've been doing it longer than anybody else has. They've had some great fights. They've had great moments. I mean, as with anything in business, sometimes you run its course.
Time is changing. Technology is changing, and you got these apps coming out. Like ESPN's killing it with their app, and then killing it with their Friday night fights.
And now the DAZN network, DAZN.
Yeah, the Zone, but DAZN. They're putting the fights on now, these big fights, and then you also got Showtime, which is garnered a lot of the boxing big fights. It's hard for HBO. I mean, and again, too, maybe it's the director they have with the sports or boxing. I think you're gonna have to spend the money. Maybe they said fuck it.
Well, let's be honest. The president of HBO Sports, he doesn't like boxing. I mean, it's made it clear he didn't care about boxing. He didn't put money into the talent. But like we talked about, when we talked a couple days ago, I said they can't tell me that these fighters that were under contract from HBO did not know that HBO was done. They had to know a year out or 6 months out. They didn't know over the weekend, hey, we don't have HBO's going out of business. They knew.
And chances are it probably was a year, but at the same time, where I was talking the other night, you're right. HBO, they don't care about the boxing and are actually probably losing money on the boxing.
Of course.
And that is not their subscribers. So they don't give a fuck if they cancel boxing on a day's notice or not. They're not shutting down HBO.
No,
they're just cutting out the boxing.
HBO's.
But yeah, I'm sure somewhere along the line, because like Triple G didn't re-sign with HBO, and he was signed by HBO, wasn't he?
Yes.
He had a contract with them. So yeah, I'm sure somewhere along the line, they, like you said, they probably slipped them a couple of dollars
With a non-disclosure. Here, we'll
Yeah.
give you $20,000 non-disclosure. Don't tell anybody that we're shutting down. Because why would you? But there is no way. And because it struck me funny when they did the Canelo and Triple G build up, and they said that neither one of them were signed by HBO. You know as well as I do. They don't wait till the last minute to sign you. They're gonna start working on you and glad handing you earlier that year to get you to sign. And it struck me funny, but I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's the fighters themselves that didn't want to sign. But come and now look at it. HBO knew that they were going to get rid of boxing, and nobody was getting signed.
Yep.
Actually, Dylan, no, it's Thurman and Josecito Lopez, I heard. But Melissa says, I'm cleaning my TV and putting off the apps. It's a mistake. I think so, Melissa. I think the apps is kind of the direction the future is going now with boxing.
It is. When it first came out, I kind of was like, it's kind of embarrassing for boxing.
Yeah.
They're putting these other big fights on, like MMA and shit on big TV. But then you think about it, it's actually pretty smart. You know what I mean? Because it's worth spending the money on it. You get big fights.
Yeah.
And it's doing great. I mean, it seems like more people are watching the apps. How much of that?
ESPN?
With Crawford and them, that app?
$4.99.
Yeah, but how many viewers did they say they got?
7 million or something like that.
That's crazy. That's a lot of people.
7.3 or 7.5. I can't remember the exact numbers, but they were huge. And you know what? And going on that, they said you will see a lot more shows on Facebook, and it's true. I agree, Chris, and I think that's the way it's going now. But do I think? And now, hear me out on this. I do not think HBO's done permanently with boxing.
No.
I think they're revamping it, and I think maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, HBO will be back with boxing. I think this is temporary.
I can see them still sticking with boxing as far as like documentaries and like.
I can see them putting on fights. I don't think they're done.
I think they'll go back to putting fights on too, but I think they'll still do eventually in due time. They do a good job with that.
They do.
Like a 24/7. I think they'll turn them into like documentaries on big time fighters.
I honestly think though HBO needs to shake it up a little bit. I think they need to get rid of some commentators. I think they need to get rid of some people that are 95 years old scoring fights still.
Exactly. Sergio was, why are they putting Loma on normal ESPN?
Because he's a top-ranked fighter.
Well, that and second of all, Lomachenko is big to the boxing people, but Lomachenko really ain't that crossover fighter yet. So, you know what I mean? I don't think that he's not. So they're getting their money's worth with him on ESPN and top rank promoting him with that deal they had with ESPN.
Yeah.
You ask the average person out there that follows boxing here
Lomachenko,
they're not going to know.
No. And the people that do know about him that are regular people, they think they shit on him, but he's overrated, and they only seen one fight out of him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't know. Do I think it's a good thing? I think it might be time for HBO to take a step back and revamp, because the system that they've had for the past 45 years is not working now. And with everything evolves, and maybe Jim Lampley and Merchant and what's the old guy that always scores fights? He's 90.
Letterman.
What?
Letterman.
Harold Letterman.
Harold Letterman.
He don't got it no more, man. He's been scoring some crazy ass fights.
Yeah, he is. I think Letterman's a biased dude.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
though.
yeah, he is.
Like, if he likes you, he's giving you the round.
Yeah. But and that's the thing. I think that I think fresh blood needs to be put into boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Hey, you know what? I see an issue eventually for Showtime with these apps.
Yeah.
I mean, that the Zone app.
Yeah, Bud is on.
They're fucking tearing it up, man.
Yeah, they are. And Bud is on ESPN because he's Top Rank, Sergio. Yeah, Top Rank is so entrenched big in ESPN right now. You're not going to see a lot of Golden Boy fighters. You're not going to see a lot of Heyman's fighters on there because Top Rank is what HBO used to be, or ESPN is what HBO used to be for Top Rank.
You know, not on that. I'm curious though, because I see the only other promotional company I see on ESPN is Golden Boy, and I wonder if they got a little side deal with ESPN also.
Oh, of course.
You know, they put on a good.
You cannot put on a fight without Golden Boy because they got all the fucking talent.
Yeah, you know, Virgil Ortiz a couple fights ago fought on ESPN.
Yeah, you can't.
That was a Golden Boy card.
But let's see how many Golden Boy fights will headline. How many Golden Boy fighters will actually
probably
headline?
not.
And that's what I'm saying.
Because Bob Arum had the bigger deal with. He's the one that actually brought that whole idea to ESPN.
And you know, another thing that they were talking about, which I really liked, which it was funny because we talked about this about 3 episodes ago, about what fighters really make according to the pay sheet. Did you see that?
I was saying that a long time ago.
I said it too. It too. But people argued. They start that. I'm not even gonna say that for today. I'm trying to work on that. They start that ignorant ass shit, and that's not what the pay sheet said. I'm like, look, man. Just because the commission puts a pay sheet does not mean is what they made. That is a base salary.
Yep. Like with the Broner, when we went in the back, that was at the when he fought Mikey Garcia.
In Brooklyn.
They took us in Brooklyn, and at the Barclays Center. And they had the back area where they parked their cars and limos and what everything else.
And he had the $1 Million Phantom back there?
Yeah, and I'm going, this dude at most probably makes like 1 to 1.5 a fight. Even if he made 3.
He makes about 30, 2.5 to 3.
Well, he only made 1 against Mikey.
That was early. He made 2.5 his last.
Okay, but still, what I'm saying, by the time he comes home with that, I mean, is he a millionaire? Absolutely. But what people don't understand is you're spending that, and you're spending $100,000, and then you're paying the taxes on that.
Yeah.
Then you're taking that out of your purse. You're literally coming home, and you know damn well he's probably living in a big house.
Oh yeah.
And that's why these guys do go broke, because they don't know how to budget. Hey, listen, you could be rich and still live a fucking great life, and anytime you want to do something or have something, you could have it within reason. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, Robert Garcia came on. And when Robert Garcia comes on and says it, then everybody decides, oh, yeah, he was, okay, I understand now. Well, motherfucker, I said it. I told you guys what happens. There's so many other side deals and different deals going on prior to that fight. There's sponsorship money. There's television money. There's advanced balloon payments in cash so they don't have to do, so they can avoid taxes on it. They do so much. Like everybody was like, I forgot who argued me about Crawford. 1.8 does not mean he made 1.8. He made about $2 million more than that. So it just come out and said the same thing today in an interview that they make a lot more than they say. Like the comment they were talking about Mikey saying he made 1.8. Mikey made almost $5 million when it was over. I mean, it's just how the contract. You know, they said, I'll fight for 1.5, but I want that balloon payment in cash. I want $3 million.
And again, you got to go on. A lot of these fighters have a lot of people, a lot of team with them too. So if they're making 1.5, $2 million, and they're probably paying out over 35% of their purse, I mean, you got to understand that too.
Well, also too, it says, I think Amy from the Punchline said, makes it clear as how much is the difference. Oh, well, I mean, me and Kelly, we've broke that down many times. Yeah. Kelly has more experience on that. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean,
let's just take $1 million purse.
Okay, but again, that comes down to how much they're paying out.
Well, let's just say a general contract that a fighter makes $1 million. You made $1 million yesterday.
So if their manager gets 30, some guys
33 and a third,
they still have a manager at that level.
33 and a third, yeah.
Okay, so right there is 33%. That's what? That's from $1 million.
750,000.
Okay. You're getting taxed. Taxes are around 30
to 40%.
32.
Yeah.
32.3, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
At least in 2008 it was like
Yes.
30. If you make $1 million, you're probably coming home and just say
your
you give
trainer-
up 30%.
Your trainer's 10%.
Yeah. So
your
say
your camp, you're paying camp.
Yeah. Cameron was my manager, but he only took 10%.
You're bringing home $250,000, $300,000 to $250,000. That's what you're bringing home.
You make $3. I'll tell you right now, when I fought Hopkins, I don't give a shit. I'll say it. I made $3 million. I cleared after taxes and everything, and I paid out my team, which I was fortunate again due to my dad. I walked away with probably like 1.6.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining about.
It still hurt though, didn't it?
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
you know, it is what it is.
Were you shocked the first time you made a big check and you saw how much taxes and shit came? Were you really shocked?
Oh, you don't see the taxes again. Now I had a good financial.
I know, but
team.
were you shocked when you saw, like, when you noticed how much is taken and things like
at
that?
the end of the year, yeah, you do know.
You paid over 3/4 of your salary in taxes.
Yeah, I took everybody's pay, which I hope all fighters do this.
Yeah.
The big difference is a fighter gets a check, and usually they pay because their trainers are probably a little smarter than the fighter is. So what they do is the fighter gets the check, he goes home, and then he dishes out the 10% to the trainer out of that check and dishes it out as where he should have the promoter already take the 10% out for the trainer, the 30% out for the manager. So when he gets that check, he ain't getting taxed, because when he gives it to them after he takes it home, he's still getting taxed on the $1 million. As to where if he gave out the 30%, he'd be getting taxed on $700,000. That's nice. That's a difference of $300,000 in tax.
True. Jeff Reagan said Sunnyvale. Yes, Sunnyvale Trailer Park boys. Joel says, can Kelly flex? A fun show for us. Oh, that's not good. Okay.
Settle down, Joel. I want you to flex.
But really, and but it's funny, like sometimes, and I'm not saying that we have all the information on the show, because we don't always have all the information. Obviously, we're the first to say, I don't know. But if we do, and we'll get 100 people arguing with us about it, oh, that's not what the pay sheet said. That's not what, about weight. When that fighter's weight, that's not what it said. They say. I'm like, who's they? And then when they actually show it, or when somebody else comes out with it, then they don't want to say anything.
We get a good inside scoop on the show. But even then, and this is being honest, even then, nobody really knows anything. A trainer, a parent, the fighter, they don't exactly know what's going on behind the scenes or what is being negotiated. Only the main person knows. 90% of the time, we're going to have the right answer because we're getting it from the
fighter
source. But at the same time, you can't even really rely on that.
No, because fighter only knows what they're told.
Yeah, and a lot of times you're told shit. I was told things, I didn't know.
Yeah, but when a fighter tells you what his weight is, he knows what his weight is. He checks it.
Oh, obviously.
So when something like that, or when with their purse, they know what they're making.
Now on that, I will tell you this. If somebody asked me, and just say like at the time, 2012, you're in California or going out there, and I didn't wasn't buddy with you, but we were friends through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling to make weight.
Yeah, I ask you.
And you ask me, I'm not going to be on the phone like, dude, this is fucking hard. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Bro, I'm 173 and I'm pissed off of the world.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, man, I'm fucking great, man. I'm walking around right now like 166. I'm a month and a half out. This is going to be, I'm going to say that because
you want the opponent.
You don't want the opponent to find out shit, and it's crazy. For instance, I felt, like with the Hopkins, when I was getting all the medication, a part of me really wanted to be like, fucking let them know. Let everybody know. Tell fucking HBO right now. So that way, if I lose, it's fucking documented to everybody that I'm fucking sick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if this motherfucker finds out, and who knows, maybe he did through somebody.
Well, King William Tom says a lot of fans think everybody in boxing is a liar. Well, that tends to be the case, but I mean, in Kelly's case, my case, we can't afford to put false information out because that's Kelly's reputation. Mine, I don't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But once you get that reputation of putting false information out, it never goes away. That's
mainly with us. We're just giving you what we hear.
Yes,
from,
we're just
from a very reliable source.
Yeah, normally the fighter or the camp itself, or But Esteban says, you guys heard Mikey's rumor to fight Richard Comey. Good fight, but I got Mikey stopped. I heard. And, you know, a lot of the fights that Mikey put in for are getting Errol Spence said that he wasn't going to be ready in December. Mikey has to stay busy. He has to take a fight. I mean, Comey lost to, what's his name? The last guy that fucking Mikey fought. It slipped my mind.
Easter.
Easter, yeah, Robert Easter beat Comey, but I think Comey actually won that fight. But yeah, and I think it's a good fight. I just don't think it's gonna. I think Mikey's gonna stop him. Simon says, for those that say fighter doesn't care about win or loss because of how much they make, how many times stepping in the ring or during the fight do you think about how much you are making? I always say when it comes down to it about the fight, you go in to win every time.
No, Simon, you're right. I mean, when you're in that fucking ring, you don't give a fuck about the money.
No, I bet no.
When your fucking guts are up around your fucking asshole, you know, it's not. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I mean, even after the fucking fight, you like when you're pissing blood and got your fucking hands in an ice bucket.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about it. Now, I will tell you when you're in your hotel room after the fight and you look at the check, you know how much you made.
And you want to think about what you're gonna goats you're gonna buy or something.
Fucking goats or an RV
or a fucking 4-wheeler or something.
4-wheeler. See, that's still good spending. Yeah. I could buy that shit.
Thank you, Ephraim. I appreciate it, buddy. Hi, Delilah.
I know it'll get me famous on TMZ.
Delilah said hi.
Hi, Delilah.
Yeah, we got Easter now, but yeah. What else, man? We got so much going on, and you know. Also, we lost Don Chargin, the promoter this week, which is really sad. He put a lot of great fights on. You know, I mean, I don't know. We're just losing a lot of the OGs in boxing, you know. And it's gonna happen. It's that time, you know. They're getting old. One of these days they're gonna be taking the 10 count for you, Kelly. Dong, dong, dong. In about some long time from now, they'll be doing that when they have your face on there, you know. Michael Buffer will still be around saying, rest easy, champ.
You're trying to fucking
make you
put out of your mouth now.
Michael Buffer will be all, rest easy, champ.
You're starting off going pretty bad at that one, and then you're like, you know, like 80 years from now.
I said it's just some years from now. Yeah, it will. That motherfucker's made out of plastic, dude. Michael Buffer's made out of plastic. Hey, he sold the devil years ago.
What 1.2 million dollars every time he says.
Yes.
What was that? Talladega Nights, like, you know, with the amount of money I got now, it's not possible for me to live like 300 years. Or something like that.
Kind of disappointed that whores and cocaine weren't on the buy list. Yeah, true. Well, he was kind of disappointed that whores and cocaine weren't on the buy list.
Who?
King William Thompson said he was disappointed that you didn't have cocaine and whores on your list.
Nah, it's expensive, man.
Yeah, it's expensive lifestyle.
You think fucking's funny? Fuck yourself and save your money.
Yeah, Buffer's gonna outlive Kelly. Buffer's gonna outlive Virgil Ortiz Jr. that motherfucker sold the devil, man. Dude, I think Buffer was John Wilkes Booth in a former life. You know what I mean? Fucking Buffer.
You know, a lot of people don't like that guy.
I don't have an issue with him. I don't have anything bad to say about him or good.
I guess people that know him, like, supposedly know him personally.
Yeah, I've met him, but I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I'm curious. Like, these people that say that, like, I know him personally. How the fuck do you know Michael Buffer personally?
You hang out?
I can't find a situation where you know him personally.
I've seen Michael Buffer in social situations, though. Remember at the restaurant in New York?
Yeah, he was cool, though.
Yeah, he was cool, man. It looked a little creepy, but yeah.
There will be an exclusive interview posted on punchline.live with Don Chargin.
Yes.
I interviewed him about a year ago and left thinking in my head that maybe the last time I speak with him. I've held on the video interview.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And Sergio said, so according to Conte at Balco, the substance Billy Joe Saunders tested positive for is 10 times stronger than clenbuterol. Well, I mean, if anybody's going to know, it's going to be Victor Conte. Victor Conte was a dirty motherfucker, man.
Dan Siegel. Hey, fellas. Kelly Powell. Was there a fight that was the hardest for you to motivate yourself to do? What did you do? Push yourself through that?
Remember yesterday?
Well.
Remember yesterday?
Yeah. Dan.
I was there for that, right?
Who was it? Ivani?
Prego.
Prego. when I fought him, the training camp was brutal. I was training in Russia, and my opponent had all this great technology. And I was just up in the mountains.
In a barn.
In a barn.
I went, didn't I?
Yeah, it was ice cold. And,
Yes.
and all I had to do was pick up like heavy rocks, and I had a sledgehammer to cut trees.
You dragged a wagon out of the snow.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy, you know about the camp. My buddy,
I was there.
Talo.
Yeah. Jalo.
Yeah, Jalo Preed. He was his trainer.
Jalo Free.
Yeah, because I was, you got to understand too. It was hard because my best friend just died in the ring shortly before that fight. At training camp, and his trainer started training me for that fight, and I was up there in the mountains in Russia, ice cold, and then my opponent, Yevgeny Prego, he had all that technology and he was training steroids, and they were putting needles in him, I heard.
And he had that blonde wife.
Yeah, smoking blonde wife who looked like a dude kind of, but was still smoking. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah. Do you remember the speech I gave you?
Can you?
You want me to tell you? Go back to the speech? I went upstairs, and you were looking in the mirror at that picture of Prego. And I said, I love Jalali like a brother. And when I lost him, part of me died. But you're the one now. You're going to go through more hell than any man's ever going to go through. But I know it'll be you at the end. Remember that? That was the conversation.
And that really motivated me, man. I went in there, and then
it was awesome. We had that Hearts on Fire
Hearts
song.
on Fire song came on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And you won.
I did.
You won. And hey, it was Christmas Day.
And I didn't even think they were going to let that fight go on, because remember when Yevgeny threw his manager out of the ring? He came up in between the rounds.
He said, he fights for me, and threw him, right?
This is for me. He was screaming. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I fucking don't know either.
And he threw his manager out the ring.
Yes, I remember that.
He didn't just throw him. He
launched his ass. Yeah, and then the worst fucking part of that, man, was your son had to sit home and watch that fight on TV with his robot. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to watch it with a robot.
He did.
Yes.
He wasn't happy about that.
No,
either.
And he had some friends over there too.
Yeah, but I guess as the year went by, his friends, at that age were assholes, and they were picking on him.
Yeah, and then
the robot, and him not going to Russia to see the fight.
Yeah, the robot. Yeah, and then you had your fucking lazy brother-in-law living with you. Remember, he'd smoke cigars in the house, and you bought him the robot. He changed the voice of it. Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie.
He changed the voice of the robot. Remember that? It said, "Happy birthday, Ollie." Remember that? Yep, I remember that.
And then that motherfucker had the audacity to go blow half my fucking money.
He did.
After that.
Yeah, and then you know what? You lost all your money. And then you had to go back. You had to move back to Southside Youngstown.
Yep.
And you had to train some fighter from Oklahoma, right? Yeah. What was
his Tony Morse?
His name was Tony. No, it was Tony Munn.
Yeah.
Tony Munn. Yes.
But check that out. It gets fucking crazier. So I got into training a little bit, and I was training him, and then this fucker wants to fight me out in the fucking middle of the street.
Yes, he did, and I was there. You remember that?
And he brings his fucking
promoter.
He brings his fucking wannabe Don King promoter.
Yeah, and he said, "Hit me and I'll sue."
Yeah, I was like,
and you said, "For what?"
Yeah, motherfucker, you were just staying at my house. You see that I got SpaghettiOs on the table.
He
for
did
dinner.
bring a lot of Christmas presents.
Well, he was making money.
Yeah,
because I was training him.
Remember when you punched him and he fell in the car?
Yeah, I hit him with an uppercut.
Yeah,
he got airtime.
And do you remember when Kelly Jr. said, "Go for it, Dad, go for it"? Remember that? Yep. That motivated the fuck out of you. Fuck.
That was almost as motivating as.
Hey, and then Sam said, "You can win." Mm-hmm. That was it. Fucking. Was that the hardest fight?
I tell you what, that was because. That fucker, what's his name? He was strong. He was body slamming me on that blacktop.
He was, and he was wearing a tracksuit and made him 10 times stronger.
Yeah, that come down on my elbow, and then that train saved me too. When I went past, and I remember my old trainer.
Yeah. Did you ever get that boxing glove back from Rocky Marciano? That one that you let Tony Munn have? No. I was wondering about that. If you ever got that back?
So the bitch took it.
He fucking took it. But no. Oh yeah, he said he heard about that on Simon said he heard about in the news after he destroyed the pinball video game they made you for you.
You have to understand, I was getting called out. I mean, here's a guy that I went out on a limb for and brought him into my house with my family.
Well, and then you went brain damage from Prego. Prego made you.
Yeah.
Ivani Prago made you fucking brain damaged, and you said something broke inside you and can never be fixed, and it starts.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get the I got to go back, flashbacks. Like I said, that train, though, I don't know if that was really Mickey's soul coming down to me or if that was just part of my brain damage.
I don't know. I think it was his soul. He said, "Win, you son of a bitch." Yeah. Did he say that to you?
And I remember saying, like, "Hey, yo." I don't know why I talk like that either. I think I was hanging out in Brooklyn a little too much.
Yeah, I think you were.
Like,
or Philly?
I didn't hear
yeah.
Philly, yeah. I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah. Who ringing that bell? Yeah, I remember that, man.
And I had a lot of street guys. I had a lot of street cred before I started fighting.
You did. You would fight those local fights.
Yeah, and then just out in the streets too fighting. And that's why I told what's his name? The kid I was training.
Oh, Tommy Munn. Tony
Munn.
Yeah.
I told him when he was wanting to fight, I was like, "Hey, yo, you knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now?" And I told him that, and then I said, "Yo, my ring's outside."
Yeah.
Because I had the street cred.
You did, and shit. And I remember, man, and
even his promoter was like, "Don't you do it? He's a street fight. He's a street guy." His own promoter was telling him that.
Yeah, I remember that. And then wasn't Prago was he an Olympic gold medalist?
Yeah,
he was, right?
Yeah.
And he killed Jalalo.
He killed my best friend. Jalalo, I had to deal with that going into that fight.
You held him with that bum equipment sweater. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. I was surprised though. I wasn't really locked up for a while because I did have a warrant. And then when I got mad at my wife, I took off in my Porsche.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, I was flying through them tunnels and shit like that.
And there's no easy way out, right?
Yeah, I loved it. Those guys were my friends. Robert Tepper.
Yeah.
And I know Repper. We go back. We go way back. And so I popped that in. I had it on my
like cassette tape.
Cassette, yeah. And I keep it at that. It was a single.
Yeah,
cassette.
It was.
It was the song was.
It was on both sides, right?
Yeah,
the dance mix was on the B side. Yeah, they had the dance mix of that.
Well, there was actually two songs, but one was the bonus, and I had you've got to wait for that for a while to listen to it. So
I remember that, man, and I'm so happy you came out of that.
Yeah,
I heard that Prago hit he made Miranda feel like a bitch. He hit so hard.
Oh, he did. It was totally. That's why I still talk to.
What was it like having Stu Nahan commentate on your fight?
Up there.
Yeah, what was it like having Stu Nahan comment on your fight?
Oh, it was great, man.
Yeah, dude, that's just a fucking once in a lifetime experience.
It is. And now, you know what I mean. I'm training Yolo's son.
Oh yeah, you are training. You're training Jalalo's son now, aren't you?
He just left the gym before you guys came in.
But dude, I saw Andre Ward knocked him out in sparring.
Well, I'd rather it happen in sparring than in a real thing.
Yeah, and he also sparred with what's his name too, the kid from Philly. What's his name? With the tattoos. You know what I'm talking about? He fought Golovkin, the kid with the tattoos.
Oh, Veins, Morsani?
No. Vanas is from L.A. Rosado, Gabriel Rosado.
Oh yeah,
he fought Rosado.
Mm-hmm.
Damon said, "Who wins, Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez versus Faces Posse and Mark for Death?"
Oh,
dude, that's a
great movie.
That is a good one, man.
That was Steven Seagal.
Yeah, that was Steven Seagal. That's a fucking dude. We'd win.
Too many connections.
We'd win.
And we got a lot of homies down in Miami thanks to our broski, Justin.
Yep, we do.
So we got connects all over the country, though. We're just not a, like East Coast, West Coast. We're all over the place, man.
Yeah, we're fucking legit.
Wherever you may roam will be our home.
So, what do you think about Thurman and Josecito Lopez?
I don't know, man.
What kind of Thurman are we getting? You know what I mean?
That's we don't know. I mean, we don't. And what do people say about who said about the ring rust? I totally disagreed.
I don't know.
Matt Brown.
Maybe Matt did. Yeah.
Ring rust is legit.
It is legit.
You get it. I would get it when I go back and I would spar. My first sparring session back after a fight, that was only after 2 months. You can feel it. I
And
mean,
the only way to get rid of it is through sparring.
yeah, well,
Heavy
but
sparring.
still,
Heavy sparring.
But sparring is also different from fighting.
It is, but it's the closest thing you can get to
Yeah.
knocking it off, other
Well,
than
'cause
actually ring.
Yeah, because it's totally different in fight night when you're in there, and it's true. So I mean, hey, Thurman's going to have it.
Yeah.
Unless he's that good.
What's up, Delilah? This is my Trailer Park Boys hockey jersey. I wanted to wear it to show it off for you. That's what I was trying to do today. Kelly, what did you think of Smith's performance against Groves?
Oh, snap!
What happened? Oh, what do you think about Smith and Groves? I thought Smith did what he was supposed to do. I mean,
I seen that fight,
Yeah.
but I can't recall it.
I think Smith did what he was supposed to do, Pete. I really expected that, but we're gonna get Mickey Ward on, guys. We're just having a little bit of fun with our stories. Dan, I'm sure Kelly will answer your question for you for real though. Hi, Alicia, and I'm
Yeah, let me ask her. What was the question? I'm sorry, Dan. We were planning on doing that when we got the question.
Yeah, we were planning on doing that. You just asked the right question, Dan. Dan said his hardest when he was in Okinawa because his instructor's father died, ended up getting into a life and death fight at a castle by the ocean. Coolest part was little drums, small world. He met a girl too there.
Oh fuck.
Dan's question was, hey Kelly, was there a fight that was the hardest for you to motivate yourself to do, and what did you do to push yourself through that?
No, because
towards the end? Were you motivated towards the end?
Maybe the Brzezinski fight. I think I was tired, just ready to be done. But again, too, I'm going in there and ego. Some people's egos are bigger than others, and of course, I didn't want to lose, and I trained. But yeah, that was coming towards the end, though, and I knew it. So
yes, Jeff. Rest in peace, Leahy. I love Leahy. He was hilarious. Have you watched that show before, Trailer Park Boys?
I keep hearing about it.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, Kelly? That's the funniest show. Dude, that's the funniest show ever. Really.
I'm not home
But
until night.
It's been on for 11 years.
Mickey.
What's up, Kelly?
What's going on, champ?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
Okay.
Say hi.
How you doing, Mickey?
How you doing, buddy? How's everything?
Good, good. It's an honor to talk to you. You've always been one of my favorites, and I'm excited to have you on.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Kelly, we have some questions for you. We're going to ask a little bit of different stuff than you're used to answering.
Yeah,
We're not going to harp on the Gotti fight because you've been asked that for 20 years. I think we're going to go a little bit different direction. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what do you got going on these days, Mick?
I'm just working. I work out here in Lowell area, Boston and stuff, Just work, do some construction for now,
Yeah.
Staying busy.
Yeah, you're a busy guy. You're a hard worker. We know that. Yeah. So, yeah, we were just wanting to see, so the fans, we got a lot of people that are tuning into the show.
They love them.
Yeah, they're going to probably have, a lot of questions also.
Yep.
Man, and I was watching a couple of your fights a while back, and your technique was really underrated. You don't hear a lot of people ever talk about your technique. That fight with Antonio Diaz was a very technical fight. It was an amazing fight from both of you, and I thought, I was telling Kelly, Mickey Ward's boxing skills were very underrated. He was a really good boxer.
Yeah, man. When I learned to box, I could box. I boxed a lot when I was younger, younger when I was a pro, but I just, when I started not realizing, but when I just got a little bit older, I just said, the hell with it. I'm just going to fight,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in and do what I got to do, and I should have boxed a lot more, I think, but, it is what it is. I did what I did, and it's over now, but, that's just the way I was. I just said, the hell with it. When I realized I had a decent chin, a good chin, and whatever, I just said the hell with it, and I stood inside a lot.
Yeah, Mick, I was going back and I was watching, some of your fights, and the one that got me was, who was it, Abel or something, Sanchez?
Sanchez.
Yeah, Abel Sanchez.
Alfonso,
yeah.
Alfonso.
Yeah, it was Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I fought Alfonso and I kept getting mixed up, Alfonso Lopez. But Alfonso Sanchez, And
It was like 16-0.
yeah, and I was listening to the commentating on it, and they put their foot in their mouth pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
but your
But you know
style, you
something,
changed.
Kelly?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know something? In a weird way, is they had all the rights. I wasn't nothing in that fight, and I was getting killed actually, And I said, I gotta do something. Shit, he's killing me, And even when he missed it hurt.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, and then I caught him around before, and I'm like, I'm going back to it,
yeah.
and boom, I caught him. And it is what it is. Everything just took off from there,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What was, what was it that, because you were the guy that, you came, you fought no matter what, and you're not afraid, but what was it in that fight? Was you kind of just like trying to drag him into deep water, or was
No.
it, no? Just
No,
he hit that damn
people
hard.
say that. Was you trying to get him tired? And no, I wasn't trying to get him tired. I was getting tired.
Yeah, I know that.
I just knew that I just didn't want to quit. I wasn't going to quit. I just trying to figure out what I could do to land something to stop him, slow him down, or something. And I just figured I'll stay in there and I'll try the body because nothing else seemed to work. But you know what it was, Kelly? I was running and moving around too much. I was just giving him too much credit and giving him,
Yeah.
I wasn't fighting my fight. I was like moving too much, and I was on my back foot. I wasn't even like planting and stuff. I was just basically moving. I didn't do nothing. I was getting killed, And when I stood there and banged with a few things, I caught him, and I said, "The hell, I'm gonna switch lefty when I get in there and tap up to the head and rip to the liver, And then I caught him, and he went down. I was like, oh shit! But when he went down, Kelly, I said, I'm saying, please don't get up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they were saying kidney on the commentating. I'm like, that was a liver shot.
That was a liver shot.
Yeah, exactly.
It was left of the solar plexus.
Yeah, and that kind of became your, signature move, turning southpaw like that and firing that to the average person boxing. It's kind of hard to really get power behind that from the positioning, but your angle that you were firing at turned out for the better, and that was brutal because a lot of people you can't pick it up. It's hard to pick it up from that angle and see that. Yeah.
And I switch lefty too as I get in there, and they don't realize that I'm lefty,
Yeah, and you bring that left hand, though. That's what I'm saying. You bring it from a different angle that's hard to pick up.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you're from southpaw stance.
Right.
Mickey, you have a question from Damon Martinez, a big fan of yours, and he was also one of the assistants on the show. He said, you made classics. One of my favorites was Augustus. What is your personal favorite?
That too.
Yeah, he said, what is your personal favorite fight that you thought you put on your best performance?
That was one of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, amazing fight.
That one, he was like very decisively good. I mean, he up until that point, I think Floyd Mayweather had said he gave him the toughest fight up until before he got into the big upper fights, But he gave Floyd a decent fight for 8 rounds or so, And he was one of the. To be honest with you, he was like one of the craftiest fighters I fought.
Yeah, he should have been a world champion many times over. I think he just always came on the bad decisions and things like that too. I don't think things went in his favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce around on this. I think what a lot of people would be curious, and I'm curious because how my training camps were. You were in some brutal fights that came down to war of nutrition, and your conditioning was phenomenal. Not only what you were putting out, but what you were taking. Can you tell us a little bit about your training camps and what your regimens were and how, what you did, how many hours?
Right. I was
diet.
My thing, Kelly, was I always stood in shape pretty much. I never really got out of shape when I was fighting. I never blew up. I fought the same weight from when I was 19 till I was 37. Never gained weight. I just trained. I trained hard, and I just killed myself in the gym. And my brother trained me very hard, and it's just running. Running was my best thing. I love to run, and I still do. I don't run as much now, obviously, but I love to run. And just running hills and tracks, and things like that, and just working out. And that was my main thing, was always just staying in shape and staying at my weight.
Yeah, definitely. I seen you at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. You did that. What was it, 5K or
5K.
that run?
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I used to
you're going to
jog that
run?"
thing.
I was like, "My fat
I
ass
used
ain't
to run
running."
that fast.
Yeah, that still was a pretty good time though. For
Wow.
Yeah, I just jogged it. Yeah, no.
What
Yeah.
was your diet like, Mickey? What was your diet like for even, what was a normal day? What was your eating like getting ready for fights?
Oreo cookies.
And you still made 40, right?
No. No. Honestly, my weight I never had to kill myself or weight. I basically would, I'd stay away from try to stay away from all fatty stuff and greasy stuff. I would just eat good and healthy, I want to eat a lot of grease. I want to eat greasy stuff, not like that. Have some pasta, like a steak here and there, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pancakes. I love pancakes, but I want to eat a lot of crazy stuff, though. I try to stay away from the greasy foods.
Yeah, but once in a while, them pancakes, that's great
Well,
carbs.
tastes delicious.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
great carbs for the.
I mean,
you're burning the amount of
I
calories
worked
that you.
out so hard and ran so hard, I could eat that.
Exactly. Yeah, you're burning so many calories. Actually, once in a while, that's
Right.
good for your body to put in there.
Yeah. Simon Rubikava has a question too. He's one of the show's editors. He said, anything from the movie The Fighter that you wish they didn't have, or that is the farthest from what actually happened?
That I wish they didn't have.
Yeah, that they didn't have in, or anything that never really happened that they said did.
No, there was some things that happened in different ways, like in different times, and
Yeah.
time settings were a little bit different and stuff like that. But no, but nothing that I didn't want in there or nothing like that. But everything like Mark had told me before, nothing's gonna be exactly like your life, but they got to make it a Hollywood movie, so they got to change some things. So. It was good though.
That's a great movie. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was.
I watched it about a week ago. It came on. I was like, oh my God, I love this movie. But I do. It's one of the best movies. But it said Kevin Kennedy said, Mickey, you're the fighter of the year from 2001 against Augustus, and it was one of my favorite fights ever. Much respect to you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a tough fight. We just kept throwing and throwing and throwing, and I think I threw 1,100 something punches. I think it's rounds or maybe more. I don't know. And he threw almost the same.
Wow.
But he landed a lot more.
And that's why that's why I was saying,
the knockdown was probably the difference, in the ninth round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not only the punches that you're throwing and the energy that you're expending, but it's also what you're receiving on the other side of that too, where the shape that you have to be in. I think people don't understand that, and it's tough.
What are you doing are you training? Are you coaching, anything like that?
Not at the moment. I was for a little while. I did that since I retired. I did it up until 2014. I was doing that, and I was down in Florida with the Iron Mike Productions there. I was training the fighters down there for him, and Herman Caseo, a guy down there. But he has that Luis Ortiz, the heavyweight there that fought Deontay Wilder. I was with him training fighters, and then I came back in 2014 from there. So I took some time off from that. I got burnt out of it. I did for so long.
We can understand that.
Training guys for years after, I just got burnt out.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm sure Kelly can understand that.
When I retired, I took 3 years away from it. I don't even think I watched but 3 fights in 3 years after I retired. Which was one of the reasons of retiring. You get burned up on it. But hey, Mick, we're gonna get one more question in before we let you go, and I want to totally thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much.
Love to have Love to have you again. But we, curious from your perspective, what's your take on the state of the game now in boxing? As far as who may be the most talented fighter out there, and what do you see happening with the HBO? Just to, give a sum up, boxing right now.
Well, I think it's in a decent spot right now. I believe. I just think. The best should fight the best. I think the welterweight division right now, that's a strong division. But you got the Keith Thurman there. You got who else did
Spence
Crawford.
The lefty kid there.
Errol
he's
Spence.
really good.
Yeah, Errol Spence.
Errol Spence. Yeah, Errol Spence. That kid can fight.
Yeah, Crawford.
You got Crawford. I mean, that's gonna be an exciting division to watch. But boxing, it's one of the oldest sports I think there is. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
No.
But like I said, the best gotta fight the best. There's so much money involved that. The thing about it is so much money involved, that people get big money to fight nobody, so why are they going to fight someone that can fight when they get so much money to fight no one?
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's what we were talking about.
The best should fight the best.
Yep, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Make one champion, Kelly. Make one champion. Forget all the other titles. Make one super champ or something. That's it.
Of every division? That'd be good. That's a good idea. It really is. There's no doubt then who's the champion.
Yeah, and I guess,
nobody knows who the real champion is. There's 6 champions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for the fighters because it gives you more bargaining power and you get more money. But for the people watching, you don't know who the hell is the champ.
Yeah, and I guess, you give your prospects, they fall in order. They get their shot. They're next up, on the ladder. But
right.
Yeah, but some of these weight classes also get overloaded. It's maybe 1 or 2. So you give somebody you got some of these young kids that are actually really good, and if they're ranked 5th or 6th, they may be sitting there for 3 years, and anything can happen in that period of time. But but it comes down to I think it comes down to the promoters making the fights that the fans want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and like I said, it's an honor having you on, Mickey. You have no idea what this means to me personally. And,
thank you. I appreciate it.
Huge fans, and I was glued to the TV in your 3 big fights and everything. Just your character and how you fight and just you overall. I was always a big fan. So and always will be.
Thank you, John. Believe me, I was a big fan of yours.
Well, thank you. And again, I got your number, and if anything comes up, if I'm going to be out that way, I'll shoot you a text, or if we get you back on the show again, for maybe like a big welterweight fight, get your idea on it. We'd love to have you back on.
Or come down here and do a show with us.
Yeah, something. So
come down here.
Yep.
Sure, I'll take a cab down.
Uber. Hey, Kelly said he'll pay for the Uber ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Making all this money from the show, I will do that.
Sounds good.
All right, Mick. Take care, champ.
Take care, Cal. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you, champ. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Man.
That's awesome.
That's awesome having him on. And you know what, guys? I'm going to just straight shit up. Some of you motherfuckers are pieces of shit. I'm going to tell you why. We get a fucking high-profile guest like this, right? And we drop like 15 viewers when you get a guest. I think some people just want to hear themselves fucking talk. You know what I mean? They want to hear their own questions answered. And then you bring somebody like Mickey Ward on, they just leave. Like, I don't want to watch the show anymore because we have a guest on. It makes not having a guest really not worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was harsh, though.
I don't give a fuck. Some people are, man.
We're joking. We like our.
Why?
Audience.
They're not watching the show anyway. The people who left, right? Does it make a difference? It's not like they heard us. The ones that are watching, they know who they are, right?
Yeah, but overall, that was awesome to have them on.
It was.
It really was.
It was, but
yeah, my coffee bag.
It's crazy though. You will see that. Like we've literally had legends on the sport, like on the show that other shows don't get, and people leave because their questions aren't being answered. Like I can't get to everybody's shit. I really can't. I try. Rob says, I always say that you can't comprehend what a boxer's going through unless you've seen them actually hit a heavy bag and watch it almost come off the wood. Well, fairly reasonable statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more to it, but yeah, I can understand what
I guess
Rob
the
means.
only really way to know what a fighter goes through
is
to get in there and let them hit you with that.
And you know what? I'm going to disagree to a certain point on that because I was an amateur and it's not the same as being professional. So I can't even put myself.
Yeah.
I was an amateur with over 100 fights. I still can't put myself in your position.
Well, because the difference with the pros is when you get in, especially at the high level.
Yes.
when you get into training camps, and this is why I like telling people, you know, when they go, well, I did construction, don't tell me about work. And it's kind of like, go and know that you got to go on Tuesday, and you got to wake up in the morning and run 3 miles in a time limit. And now on top of that, you're starving. You're watching everything you eat.
Yeah.
And then you got to, after you go run, you go home, you eat a little bit, and then you got to go to another gym and work out for 3 hours.
Yep.
It don't sound like much, but believe me.
It adds up.
Work out. Then you got to go to the gym, and you got this professional fighter who's a top guy hitting you. Even if you're whooping his ass, you're getting hit with body shots. You're getting knocked. You're getting your snout busted open. You're in pain. Your hands are sore. Yeah. You get done with that, and you're like, you can't go home and eat spaghetti and refuel.
No.
You got to go home and eat like a bird. And then, you know, sometimes you got to maybe take a late night jog to make sure the weight's down.
True.
And then you wake up and then you got Wednesday and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to train and I ain't got to spar today. Ooh, okay, well, I can look forward to that. But I still got to train for 6 hours and starve. Then I got to wake up Thursday and go spar these guys again for 12 rounds. And they're going to bring in a guy after 3 rounds and he's going to be fresh and he's going to hit me. And for 2 months. You got to do that every day. And then you take a little break and you got to come back to it. That's the difference. As we're in the amateurs, you can kind of go in there. Who's ever available to work, the kid may have one arm. And if that's going to be work for you, you're going to spar them. And same with the early part of your pro career. But then when you start falling into the big fights and they bring in these top guys for sparring, it becomes brutal.
I will say this, though. The one part about being an amateur that's the hardest is not the fighting. It's not the training. You know what it is? Going to a national tournament that's 3 or 4, 5 days long. And you remember this shit. You go into this tournament and you got to make weight. And you're starving. And you're making weight. And you fight that day and you happen to win. By God's grace, you win. You move into the next day. Guess what? You got to make weight again. You're starving again the next day.
So you ain't getting no celebration dinner after a fight.
And then if you happen to move on again, you might move on 2 fights. That third day might be a 2-fighter because they're trying to end the tournament, right? You're not eating again. And Kelly, what's happening to all those people that you beat? What are they doing?
They're eating. Remember I said on the show? Sometimes I was on Wednesday. I'm contemplating, like, losing. I see I do walking with the Domino's pizza box. I'm going, I don't think I'm going to win this fight tonight. I think I'm just fucking lose. I'll make it close and where I don't look like I'm not trying to win. And then, you know. But once you get in there, again, that goes on the ego part. Like, you're going to gut it out. But Delilah says, okay, great points, Guns. But boxing didn't pick you. You picked boxing. Not everyone is cut out to be a boxer. 1,000% correct. But that does not take away from the fact that I had to dedicate to it, though, and work as hard as I possibly can because I chose it. So it comes down to the dedication and what you put yourself through. And once you're in it for so long and you got so much invested into it of your time and your health, you better believe that it becomes your job also, and that is your source of income and your living, and it's all you've known from a young age. So you picked it, but if you pick it, you better damn well make sure that you're going to do your best at it, and that comes down to the dedication, commitment to it, and that's the difference. I could easily have picked something else where I could have did whatever I wanted to after I got done working, but you know, boxing it's a different thing. Any combat sport is, and or sport that you got football players train all year long.
Yep.
And they're in tip-top shape, and it's a brutal sport. You're getting hit by 255-pound linebackers that run a 4.340. That's equivalent to get hit by a miniature car. So
a golf cart at least, right?
Yeah, right. They bench. I mean, they're
it's like getting hit by a fast-ass golf cart.
So I mean, take that as a living too.
It says, David said, Kelly James, what do you guys honestly think of Floyd's doghouse sparring? Is it shitty or is it fun? A lot of gym wars exist in doghouse. Different or exclusive to Floyd? You know, I see what he's trying to do. I see he's trying to separate people who want to be there from not, but I think it's really dangerous. You're sparring 35 minutes, 40 minutes with no break and no water. And that's
training. It's not getting you prepared for. It's totally your breathing pattern, everything else.
It's ego-driven. It's an ego-driven thing. I
don't even know how much he really did that. I know he used to
do he has people doing it in his gym, and he's refereeing it. The thing is, man,
I don't think
safety is paramount in any kind of situation like this. I want my fighters to be safe, you know. But Simon said, when fighters' wives are together and they talk about what it's like to live with their fighter, that's when the reality of what life is like being a fighter. Or when you're always calling your kid to wish him luck in the game or school. Luckily, I've enjoyed this life with my son because I fought until he was 2. But in camp, when you see a fighter call home and have tears in their eyes after hanging up and them hoping that family understands their sacrifice. There's more of a statement. Yeah, that's a good.
Ruben says, I bet Kelly's carpet matches his drapes. It might, Ruben, but I know your girlfriends do. Fucking Ruben, man. It's funny.
What do you... I heard one of you saying today that motivation is temporary. Motivation is temporary, Kevin. I said that today. Discipline is permanent. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Pretty soon, motivation is going to wane. That's what I say. Motivation is going to go away. It's going to wane after a while. But discipline is what's going to keep you going.
Exactly. In motivation, I mean, you got to find your own motivation.
Yes.
It's not always going to. So you have. If you're in that fucking ring and you're training, you're obviously motivated. Because a lot of guys will quit.
No, what we're talking about is just doing it day in and day out. That motivation's going to not be there one day.
No,
you're just going to be disciplined. Like we were talking about, what were we talking about the other day? Weightlifting, right? When your shoulder hurts and my shoulder hurts, and you get up and go, even though you're in pain, right? And you do it, you knock it out anyway. That's discipline. That's not motivation. That's discipline. When Justin gets up and goes on his run, and I bet there's days he don't want to run because he's sore and he's working 15-hour days, right? But you still make an hour and a half out of your day to run. That's discipline.
Well, you should be a philosopher.
I should be. But Cody says, Kelly, going into your first fight with Taylor, how did you prepare mentally, and did you see anything about him that concerned you or you thought would be challenging?
Going on that fight, I was confident as hell, Cody. That's a good question. Coming off the Miranda fight, going back on it, and I'm going to harp on it. Miranda was made out to be a monster, and not only did I beat Miranda, I knocked him out, and I beat the shit out of him. And then everything about it, I just knew, because I trained my ass off in training camp for all my fights. As you can see, the punch output that I had, that I was in tip-top shape. Going into that fight, I felt that I worked too hard. And, of course, locker room, you're nervous, and you do in the back of your head always play out the worst possible situation that could happen. But for the most part, once that bell rings, is go time. And everything that you've worked on and how hard you trained paid off for me in the end. And I did go in there with confidence. And, I was more so like, they say he's big, he's fast. I knew I was fast. And I knew I was strong, and it was more so like, is he going to be able to handle what I'm bringing for 12 rounds?
Yeah, you can't get more rounds than that. I have found mine guns. Carry on. Okay, I found the guns. How bad you want it? That's right, Steven. You're right. Jeff Schumann said, "What is one thing a trainer or someone in the camp said to you that has always stuck with you from early on?" That's for both of us or you?
Probably both of us.
Go ahead, Kelly. What is one thing that trainer said to you that stuck with you early on?
I can't answer that right now, Jeff. That's a good question. Maybe give me till next week. But there's so many things said. Nothing really stands out. I mean, how many things can you hear? I think
I've heard gems from Rudy Hernandez, just things that you keep in your head forever. You know what I mean? But Manuel Stewart one time said, I remember we were talking boxing. I was talking to somebody else about boxing one time. We were just talking. And he said, you know what? Manuel Stewart said, boxing is 75% bullshit and 25% experience. When it comes to being a trainer, he's talking about as a trainer, it's 75% bullshit, 25 experience. He said, because you're only as good as your last fight. You're only as good as what people perceive you to be. To this guy, you might be the greatest trainer on the earth. And to the next door neighbor, you're the worst trainer walking. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And a lot of it, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And he said 25% of his experience, 75% is bullshit. How you move through experience.
Yeah,
and he's right.
But again, what I'm saying is there's so many that you hear.
It is, but those are things that stick out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard so much, but when you have guys like Goosen and them guys who are known speech guys, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Amy says, right, Joe Goosen had the best corner speech. He really does. He's funny in the corner.
Oh, Joe, that guy will get you motivated.
Oh yeah, like when my favorite was when Rafael Ruelas got stung by Oscar De La Hoya. Do you remember that fight when he got dropped? Joe Goosen gets him in the corner and says, All right, Raphael. You took a little shot. You took a little ding. What I don't want you to do is stand still. I want you to move side to side and never forward and backwards, dude. When Raphael got rocked and was out, he said, "All right, you took a little shot. You took a little ding."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, you got fucking hammered by Oscar." Delilah said Eastern qualifiers start next week in Chattanooga. Last chance to qualify for national in December. Just FYI. Congratulations to everybody going to to Eastern qualifiers, and congratulations to all the people going to the national championships.
Yeah, and maybe I'll have to go to that qualifier to sit down and talk with you, Delilah.
Yes, we will go to talk to Delilah.
I like that. To go over some things that I need to talk to you about.
We got to go over some boxing things. Did they think King? I thought it was locked in. Did they think King? I thought it was locked in. Stewart was a man. You know, Stewart, I didn't know him that well. I got to work in his camp when I was a teenager. For a couple weeks, I got to spar, and it was really nice. And I got 2 Kronk shirts from him, which was like.
This camp wasn't like Rooney's, was it?
What? Mickey Rooney's? No. But I'm saying is, when you get shirts from when you earn a Kronk shirt, that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
I have 2 of them, and that was a big deal because that means you worked hard. You get them. Not everybody gets them.
See, did you ever feel flat in a fight, Kelly? Absolutely, but I've mentioned it over and over, and but I have. Delilah, I can stop by Ohio. All right, then.
King said, "What happened to Christine Hammer?" I saw they pushed the fight. Yeah, they won't say what happened. They said something medically why they have to postpone the fight with her and Clarissa Shields. Simon said, when an interviewer asks you to rate your performance, and every fighter says they never give themselves an A because they are never satisfied in post-career, what performance to you is your plus performance, Kelly? Like, what performance did you have that made you an A, that you would give yourself an A for?
I would say because of the outcome of the Miranda, but in that fight, I was flat-footed, but that was my game plan to be, and it was just to back up Miranda. So, not that one. I would honestly say the second Taylor fight.
You know what fight I thought you looked best in ever? I thought Zartucci, you looked like at your peak, and I also thought Bronco McCart.
Was Zartucci again at that mode? Yeah, Bronco McCart was really good.
I just thought
Zartucci, I was in a slug mode.
Dude, you were so light on your feet.
Yeah, but I still took shots.
Yes.
And that was over how I was trained because of the power.
Yes.
And how I was, fighting. I was fighting as a brawler. And I got hit with some stupid shots in Zartucci. But, yeah, Bronco McCart was really good because I had fun in that fight.
You were bouncing.
Yeah.
You looked really good.
Exactly. And then the second Taylor fight was, you talk about boxing, hand speed with a pure boxer. I would say that one.
Cody Jones says, you're going to a championship rounds. It's been a brutal war. How much are you truly listening to your trainer at that point? Strategy lost?
You'll listen when you need to. That's a really good question, Cody. You'll listen when you need to, and there is certain parts of the rounds where you don't need to listen to your trainer. I'm not just going to say that, especially when you're experienced. There's more shit going on in your head at that point, especially if it's a tough round. You know what you did. You know what you did to get caught in the body shots. But yeah, it's crazy, and I can't explain it. But at key times when you really need it, you'll listen to your trainer, and you will hear him. And so at least for me,
I tried to listen. I mean, there was times I didn't listen. I was a hard head. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Well, even Rudy said that when we were in New York. Damon asked Rudy, "What was it like training me when I was young?" And Rudy said, he don't fucking listen.
Yeah.
He didn't fucking listen to me. And he was right. I was a hard-head kid,
Yeah. I mean, there's really too much going on in the corner in that little minute break, especially depending on the situation you're in, to really take in everything. That's why I think like less is more for a trainer in the corner. Yeah. Like really stick to one thing.
You got 1 minute.
Yeah, and stick to that one thing that they're doing wrong, the biggest thing that they're doing wrong, because they're not going to take in 3 different things like, oh, you're stepping to the right instead of your left. And then when you're stepping to the right, you're dropping the hand and you're only firing a double jab instead of the right cross. By that point, I'm going to go, all right, fuck it.
As a trainer, what I always wanted to do, I don't have time to tell the fighter what he's doing wrong. I have time to tell him what he needs to do right. That's it. I don't have I don't have time to sit there and reharp. Hey, you're doing this. If the fighter knows what he's doing wrong, he knows it.
Exactly.
Let's fix what you're doing.
After so long, yeah, early on in the career, pro
Yes.
career and amateurs is very important for a trainer on certain things, but after thousands of rounds and hundreds of thousands of rounds
what you did
sparring
wrong.
and fighting, yeah.
You know what you did wrong.
Let me answer Ruben's real quick.
Okay.
Ruben says, where you eat the day of a championship fight? Do you ever
He eats pussy.
worry you might have to take a shit in between rounds? You gotta be very careful with that, buddy. Absolutely. There ain't no greasy foods the day of a fight. Morning, a little bit of bacon. I have to always have bacon. It's good. But eggs, I'll have a good amount of toast or pancakes. Lunch or, early afternoon, last time I'm going to eat before the fight is like a light sandwich or chicken that's not greasy. Yeah. You really want to watch.
Who was it that you hit and you made shit themselves?
I don't think I ever made
Remember in
anybody.
camp that we heard a story about you sparring and you made somebody shit when you hit him with a body shot in the top rank gym. Was it who was it that was talking about?
Oh yeah, that was smart. So many.
Yeah, they said he shit himself when you hit him. Who was that? It was Ellerby that told us that. Remember Leonard Ellerby said you made somebody shit.
Yeah, Ronnie John or Aaron Williams.
Yeah, you made him shit.
Yeah.
And Dak said, I swear, Teddy said it. There's one here. Oh, he was talking about Teddy Atlas saying that you're a fireman. Go in there and put the fire out. Work for Tim Bradley. But it was a terrible fucking speech. Mm-hmm. I swear Teddy said it with the most enthusiasm by a trainer. You're blowing it, kid. Jeff said, James, is that a Sunnyvale 420 jersey? It is a Sunnyvale, but it's not 420. It's the Bubbles jersey. It's number 99. I think 420 is the Julian jersey. But I got the 99 jersey because I'm not a partaker of the 420.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to get two more questions, and we got to bounce on out today, guys. Delilah, did you ever really care about your shoes and outfits like the boxers do now? A little bit, but my dad handled that, and he did, in my opinion, a fantastic,
sweet, man.
Yeah, fantastic job. No, you don't want to look like you fucking got off the boat from Europe, but or raggedy. But I didn't care too much. I always had faith in what he was picking, and he did a good job.
Hey,
so
before we get off here, can I give Simon a 2-minute call real quick? He wanted to do something publicly real quick.
Okay.
Simon, I'm going to give you... Can you call Simon?
I don't have his number.
Here, let me give it to you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Ruben, it is a big fair. You got, especially at top level when you got hundreds of thousands of people watching you.
No, we got something. He wanted to say something.
All right, Ruben, take care, man.
All right, guys. One more thing before we go. Let me get it real quick. It's right here. 307. There you go. I want it.
What is going on over there?
Who knows?
Hello?
Simon.
You're on the punchline.
Oh, well, what's up?
Yeah.
You told us you had some information to put out for us.
Yeah. Oh, what was that?
You had some information you wanted to put out for the show today.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, man. I got back to work. It kind of caught me off guard because I thought you guys were ending the show.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, man, with the punchline, just wanted to say to the audience and the people that have reached out, trying to be a part of it and be contributors. I've been running the punchline.live website and started getting writers. And then I remember when I got my foot in the door, the people that helped me get in there with FightIte.com and other publications.
Yeah.
So I reached out and definitely I've taken to, I understand people that are fans that are looking to get involved and maybe be at the shows and the events. So we had an incident last Friday and I got to send my apologies to Top Rank. Because it's never going to happen again. There's now going to be a more strict guidelines as to who we have. And I thought that having contributors and writers around the country would help us cover boxing throughout the country. So there's a few people in Texas like Gina Davis and other people. Anyway,
And Alicia, yeah.
An opportunity to I gave an opportunity to a childhood friend's brother, and
He
very
fucked.
much, we can't have that.
No.
He went to a show and he went to as a fan, it seemed like, more than a writer, a professional.
Yeah.
And we all at the Punchline conduct ourselves in a professional manner. So, so I apologize to everybody for that incident. I wasn't there. And definitely, if somebody is interested in getting involved, you have to understand what it means to be part of the media and how different it is from being a regular fan.
Yeah. Well, it's not your fault. I mean, no one, you can't choose and you can't fit, people's actions. You had no idea. So nobody hold it against you. You're always a great example for the show and you're a great contributor. We can't.
Exactly. And we're just going to limit, it's getting, coming down to a very limited few people.
No, absolutely. And then, I was already emotional. Don Chargan passed away. He was the first promoter I ever fought for. And then back with Lorraine, Lorraine, his wife, was awesome to me. One of my first fights, she caught me. We were going out of the arena with passes, and then bringing other people in, and she caught on to what we were doing, and then she told me at my very next fight how disappointed she was in me doing that. And she said, just come talk to me if you need people to get in and family. And then, of course, it was just family, stuff. I wasn't bringing in all my friends and everything. I told them, buy the tickets. I understand how the promoter makes money. And then Don, over the years, has been great. And so then I interviewed him like a year ago, like I said. And I, for some reason, even though he was in great health, he had an amazing memory even for a 90-year-old. And sometimes, somebody's wife dies after so many years, and you almost get the feeling that they're not too far behind them. I think that love really connects you, and then they both. So I've held on to this video interview and never posted it, never published it.
Well, post it, player. Post it.
Next, yeah, I will. It'll be on punchline.live. So you all stay tuned too. And also, I work a full-time job and I train fighters. So on an average day, I leave the house like at 8 in the morning. I get home at like 11:30 at night. So sorry if I don't keep the website up to date or with news, because there's been stuff that happened over the last few weeks. And
well, we understand.
There might not be stuff posted all the time, but I dedicated and I sacrificed childhood for this career, for this sport, and man, I'm very passionate about it. So when I say I was in tears and it upset me to get that email about what happened,
and then you have somebody act like an asshole over there in Texas. That wears on you too. You know what I mean? Or in California.
Yeah, and you definitely can't. When you're there, first of all, you can't cheer for a fighter in the media.
And that is hard.
You can't get up and leave, and then you can't get up and leave if it's a boring fight. When you're a reporter, you stay there until the fucking end. You don't walk out and say, well, this fight was boring and I'll on my way out, and then this incident happened backstage, and you're like, wait a minute, you were supposed to be in your media seat ringside watching the fucking fights, not leaving the arena because it was a boring fighter.
Let's be honest. Me and Kelly's gone to shows where we sat for 12, 13 fights, and the fights aren't shit. But you know what? That's part of what we have to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's part of what we do.
We're not there to roam the hallway or anything else to haul there.
Yeah. So you're giving account of what happened. Like you think, even the disciples, I'm sure, following Jesus.
I will tell you this though.
Walking upon us for miles, and they still have to document.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this, Simon. Me and Kelly are the laziest journalists in that fucking arena. We don't carry a.
You know what? You guys pay attention, and then you talk about it on Tuesday.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the platform you guys have.
Yeah, we don't have computers.
Yeah, because we're and I think some of these promoters and the PR people for the promoters understand that we're not reporters. We're not going home and writing out a two-page it's what happened with the fight. We are a radio show.
We're breaking it down technically.
So we see what we see. You know what I mean? And we'll put notes here and there in the phone. No, I mean
we do put our notes in. We score the fight. I actually score the fight on a fight score I have. But as far as some of the media guys, they have 3 computers out, and they're doing a great job. They're great work they're doing. But that's just not what we are. And we've had people complain about that. We've had other reporters say that we're not doing the job of a journalist. We've had others.
Wow.
But
and I remember I remember, and it's real strict. So you can't ask for your whole crew to show up. They might get one or two, and they've made some exceptions because you guys have the radio programming, and now there's a website, so they understand now that we may get 2, 3 at the most requests, depending on how it is. But they understand that the website story is different than what you guys are doing. Yeah. But then in the past, I remember. I remember it was my brother's last weekend before he left for college, so I brought him with me to cover for the Cotto Margarito fight, and I bought him a ticket to that fight, the first fight. Yeah. And but I had asked, man, I almost got crucified for asking even just for a press room pass because I didn't want to lose him in the crowd because you come out of the MGM back then. Yeah. And there's just like thousands of people waiting for the fighters to come out of the press conference, and I thought, so I happened to ask, could I maybe have my brother in the press room after the post fight? He's going to be in the audience, and I bought him a ticket to the fight, and man, I thought I was going to get crucified for this. So I never again asked for any favors. Luckily, with the Lane brothers here, Let's Get On Promotions or something like that locally, a local event, they know me here. But yeah, definitely when I tell people that I'm going to a fight at MGM or Staples Center, and they're like, "Oh, bring me with you." I said, "No, you can't."
We get that.
Those big events are real strict. I mean, even for Cotto Margarito, I have to go to a back room and do an FBI background check before they issue me my credential. Yeah,
we get that every week. We get that every week, don't we? Yeah. Every time there's a fight, I get about 10 requests. I can't even tell you how many Kelly gets. Can you, get me a credential and get me in the fight? Really, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Hi, Amanda.
Yeah, no, but definitely, if you're wanting to really be a journalist and be with the media, reach out to me, and there'll be some strict guidelines and then some training shows that hopefully I can join you with and stuff like that. And then Kelly has to approve everything. But at the same time, you got to understand what it means it doesn't just mean you get a free ticket to the fight and you sit ringside and you're sitting. You have to do work. You are working. And see, as a fighter, that's the thing, is that you make all your sacrifices and training and all those weeks leading up to the fight. But after the fight, it's party time. And then when you're a reporter, you don't have to do shit. But then when the event's over, that's when your job starts. Yeah. But you don't go to the after party, because when I first started with fight, I still had a fighter's mentality. In fact, I used to bring my uniform because, there's been those times like Tommy Morrison when he ended up fighting Tim Tomachik. And then Tim Witherspoon was in the audience, and somebody pulled out, and they pulled, he happened to be there, so they asked him if he wanted to fight. And then, so I had the first year that I was a reporter, I still had a fighter's mentality. So in my car, I had my trunks and my cup and my mouthpiece in case something strange happened where a fighter fell out. I was going to jump in there and say, well, I'm available. So I remember my agent checking in to see how these fights were going. And I said, yeah, it's all right, but if I could choose to be anywhere in the building, I would be in the dressing room getting ready to come out and fight. Well, now I'm happy being in the media. I'm not look forward to getting ready to be in the ring, but I still had a fighter's mentality. And if I got invited to like an after party or an event after, I would go, and then I realized, oh no, I got to get back to the room and upload all this stuff. I go back to my hotel rooms on a big fight where the stuff can't wait a day or two because then you're going to be publishing on Monday what every other website did 24 hours before you. Yes. So I had to get in that mentality that this is work, so this is what I have to do. I go back to my hotel room and stay up all night uploading.
Well, we appreciate all the hard work you do, and we're about to close the show out, and we appreciate everything you do, Simon. Thank you so much.
No, and thank you very much. Thanks for having me. And if anybody is interested and wants to go on that fight, come approach me, and then we'll go over some things and go through the process of getting you going, because I definitely appreciate passing things on and giving people opportunity. I don't want to shut the door on that completely. Yeah. But there is going to be strict standards, and that definitely will not ever happen again with somebody getting rude.
No, because somebody's going to get.
You're going to sit in your seat and you're going to shut the fuck up because
somebody's going to get.
For you to get their attention because of how you're acting means that you weren't doing your job. Yeah. Which is just to sit there and observe the fight, not be a fan. And that unfortunately happened, and and I'm the one that was sitting there waiting for his work so that I can start publishing it and editing it and then upload it. And then instead of hearing from him, I hear from the promotion. So I apologize to people for not having any coverage. He did have a good interview with Tim Bradley. And but yeah, I can't post anything like that. I just don't want the individual's name anywhere.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have to dump it and then see what happens. But yeah, so just don't think that you can't get involved, or we would never give an opportunity to somebody, because we do want to eventually expand.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be some strict standards now, not just going just because somebody's asking for an opportunity, and we're gonna see what they got.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Appreciate everything, man, and just know, man, everything is, and also all the viewers out there. It doesn't matter the punchline with Kelly Pavlik, James Dominguez. Everybody just associates punchline with Kelly Pavlik because they see my press pass. They'll see punchline.live. They say, "Oh, where's Kelly?" So Kelly Pavlik's name is behind everything that we do, and we have to honor that because he is an honorable name in the sport, and always stayed out of trouble and everything. So he's not a guy that had any controversies around him. So I appreciate.
I don't need that.
In the end, I'm looking to grow forward, moving forward with the show and with everybody, with Amy, with Damon, and all the work that everybody does.
Yeah.
And we're building this thing up, and hopefully there's going to be big things in the future, and we'll see what happens with how many contributors we end up needing with time. But for now, we're just going to keep a closed circuit. We're going to keep a closed circle and move forward that way.
All right, Sam. Well, I'm going to answer one question, and then we're going to close out, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
Right,
thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Kelly and James.
Anytime, bro.
Bye.
All right, we have one last question, guys. And you're right, King. Those journalists do need to understand, accept things are changing. And they are. But there's still that old school mentality.
Yep. And then I want to answer a buddy of mine, and actually,
Joe.
Mickey Ward's nephew.
Okay.
And Joe McCready was a fighter, and he did train with me actually at Buzz Garnick's camp in California, PA.
Yeah, I know that's that.
He goes, "You're the best, Kelly. Loved working with you in camp years ago. I do not know if you remember. Yes, I do. By the way, do you ever get scared of having CT just from all the hits in the head? I don't know if that worries you at all, because I suffer from the CT now." I don't believe I have it, and maybe some of the shit that happened, maybe I could use that as an excuse.
Look at me and Justin. Look at each other.
Yeah.
No, you don't have it.
No, I may have that. Justin, you could fly a fucking kite. Right. But yeah, Joe, no, it is something to worry about. And that was another thing. Hey, listen, I'm fortunate enough to have what I have left, and whatever I was given, which probably ain't much, I want to keep. It is brutal, and that's why I said when I was fighting too, I didn't want to make it a very, very long career. I actually never planned on fighting 12 years that long.
That's a long time.
I fought 5 years after I won the world title. But yeah, dude, I had a blast with you, Joe. Great dude, and and I hope everything's well, man. Just keep an eye on it. I don't even know what to say for that, how they treat it. But I hope all the best, dude, and maybe sometime shoot me a friend request on Facebook or something, so that way we can stay in contact, man.
What's up, Dr. Rodney? That's best fucking chiropractor in Columbus, dude. He'll save your life. He'll get you right. Okay. Dr. Rodney Oberdorf, he is the best.
Well, if a chiropractor can save my life, then
he'll save your damn life.
For everything.
I'll tell you what, he knows the physiology of your body, where your shoulder wouldn't hurt the next day going to the gym. I guarantee it.
You know what's good for shoulder pain?
Pussy.
Look at my butthole.
You better watch your mouth when you talk to me.
Step brothers.
I know.
All right.
Were you touching my drum set?
Playing Moby Dick for real.
Hey, in case everyone, I'm bouncing on Friday.
Yeah, that's where the story came from with the Dan Siegel question.
Oh, dude, that was a great fucking dude. Did I ever tell you about that? Tell you what happened, Justin?
No.
You know, one of my friends recommended me for a job in Pennsylvania, bouncing at a bar out there in Edinburgh, right? Bouncing at a bar out there. The guy said, "Do you have any experience?" And he's on the phone. I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "I bounced in New York City for a few years." I said, "I left there and took a job over outside a little place outside St. Louis called the Double Deuce." He saw, "Really?" He goes, "How was that?" I said, "Oh, it was a real shithole." I said, "It was terrible." I said, "I had my first night there. I had to fire the bartender for selling drugs, and I had to fire the waitress selling drugs and the bartender for skimming. Can you believe it?" I said, they even killed my mentor, Wade Garrett. He called me Mijo all the time. And I'm going on and on. And I said, yeah, I had to leave. I fell in love with this pretty doctor, but I had to leave. I tore the throat out of the rich guy's son. And he goes, that's from a TV show, isn't it? I said, yeah. He goes, don't ever fucking call here again. I'm like, all right. He had to ask somebody because he had the speaker on. Somebody told him that it was from a movie. He didn't know.
That's fucking, yeah, you were telling me that last night.
Dude, I went in so much detail.
Because he had me first last night, tagging along, and then, it was like Roadhouse. So said,
Cody, Kelly was the hardest punch you were ever in the ring with. Ivani Prago.
Dr. Rodney, cool, man. Yeah, James said you're good. Maybe one day, where's he at?
He's in Columbus, outside Columbus.
Maybe I'll come down one time and have you crack me around a little bit.
He does. He has regenerative cell therapy for.
Sweet.
Dude, that's what you need. And he has this stretcher, this electronic stretcher, and it stretches your back out, puts it all in alignment again. Dude, it's amazing.
Definitely.
But he's the best.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to wrap up before James gets to talking for another 10 more minutes.
Oh, man, I'm just talking about story.
We're making the show a little shorter so it keeps everybody interested and ready for next week.
Yes, these 2-hour shows got to go, man.
Yeah, and we're already at the hour and a half mark.
But we love you guys and we answer all your questions.
Exactly.
Hey, Patricia. I love Patricia. She's so sweet. But, hey, thanks to everybody tuning in today, right?
Yep. Hit the YouTube up, like, share, but mainly subscribe.
And hit that bell icon to remind you when the episodes are.
Exactly. And spread the word.
Esteban. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. And Glenn, that is fucked up, but it was funny because I went 15 minutes deep into the Roadhouse, and he didn't know it was Roadhouse until I was on speaker, and one of his other bartenders told him that was a movie I was talking about.
Yep. Well, Glenn, you could go back and watch the show too, man. It was a great show. We had Mickey Ward on.
Yep.
And I think you will like it, Glenn. So check it. You can still watch it on Facebook or on our punchline.live.
Yep. And Amanda Stevens-Meyer said hi to you too, Kelly.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. And yeah, and Delilah, thank you. And thank you for everybody for tuning in. There is no show without you, and we appreciate everything. Have a great week. See you Tuesday.
Sean Razor, what's up, homie? See you guys.